everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Miss Kaka. I'm the school counselor from Penabur Banda Secondary. So I'd like to welcome everyone to BanDais #Overtime podcast. Today we will be talking about holiday. Is it possible to have a holiday that is fun and still productive at the same time? Right? Today our guest would be Jane from JC1 and also her classmate Laticia Jessie from JC1 too.
Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so thank you guys for coming in here today and to have a chat to talk about this as well, right? And knowing that since we have just celebrated our recognition day, and the next 2 weeks the students will be engaged in holiday, so no worries, guys. So yeah, I also wanted to ask actually about you guys. If you don't mind sharing though, how do you feel about your own results this semester? Do you guys feel satisfied by it or like, yeah, sure, no, it's okay?
Well, I feel like I could have done better,
Okay.
but it's a certain improvement from last semester.
It's an improvement. Okay, so that's really cool, Jane. Can you tell us more about what you've been improving since the last semester?
What I feel most improved is in mathematics. Yeah, I used to have a lot of difficulties, and I used to ask Jessie a lot about math questions. But then I realized I just needed practice, and as soon as I got the hang of it, I quite improved a lot.
Okay, so that's I would say that that's really good as well that you've been able to improve for the semester. How about you, Jessie?
I would say that I'm satisfied because it's probably like one of the best results
Gold
for my
medal.
report.
Gold medal. Oh, yeah, that's so awesome. Congratulations for Jessie for getting the gold medal, but also congratulations, Jane, as well for having improvements. I would say that it's not always easy to be able to finding ways and to sustain motivations, yeah, at time to improve yourself. So that's really good.
Okay.
Okay, no worries as well. So I'd like to ask you guys about the highs and lows of the year and what do you guys feel like you have learned along the way?
Well, obviously a lot about my learning style, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me quite some time to actually do trial and error with a lot of sorts of techniques, I guess. And yeah, that's what I've learned.
How was it, Jane, for you when you experienced this trial and error?
Well, it
What were
was
things that come across?
frustrating, of course, because there would be some point where I'm not gonna find something that's going to work for me. Everything doesn't work for me.
Oh,
Yeah. There would be some like low points like that, but then you get back up.
you get back up. Can I ask what sort of motivates you to get back up for both Jane and Jessie in this case?
I think that by focusing on a goal, like you could actually motivate yourself to
I
do it.
agree.
If you're like really serious about it, yeah, you will try your best to achieve it. I personally think that too.
Maybe like it's a sort of reminder once in a time, maybe like where you want to go for university, where you want to go in life, your career choice, maybe.
I see. Okay, so both of you mentioned about the importance of having a goal, yeah? Having something that you want to achieve. So like in the future, that sort of becomes the motivation. So when you may not be able to do something, but when you remember that you have this goal, you're gonna go get for it, and it keeps like the fuel up and running as well. So can I ask you guys as well, speaking about university and knowing that there's a whole lot of changes due to COVID-19, how do you guys feel about, preparing for university in the next year? What are your feelings towards them?
I feel uncertain. Of course, this year has been full of uncertainty for all of us. And I don't know what will happen or the things that can go wrong in this year, besides the Australian fire and the COVID-19. Well,
I see.
yeah, there can be a lot of going wrong. It's really, I feel really anxious about it.
Feeling really anxious about it as well. And I can understand that feeling, yeah, especially with a lot of changes going on. Sometimes it can feel like there's nothing that's just something that you can hold on to, I would say as well. And can I ask for Jessie as well about yeah, your preparation for university, how has it been, and with all of this thing going on, how do you prepare for the best and or even prepare for the worst outcomes?
Like I would say like it's going to be similar like what Jane said, like especially like during the COVID-19, like our AS level is already cancelled, and yeah, we
Mm,
don't know when we will be able to take them, which is really important for our university admission, you could say. So yeah, it's
mm,
really difficult, especially for our class, because like I would say like the most difficult students that experience from this pandemic is probably like the JC2 at our class. I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there could be some
mm,
changes to the requirements to the admissions due to the pandemic, but I hope not.
mm. Okay, I see. So from what you've both been saying, that there's a lot of changes going on, especially with the AS level, and yeah, and I can understand that that can be very frustrating. That you've been preparing for all this time, then suddenly this happened, it got canceled for now. Hmm.
Yeah,
And yeah,
especially with the cancellation of the UN.
mm,
Yeah, it brings more uncertainty.
bringing more uncertainty. Okay. And how do you guys think next year is going to be for you?
I think that next year is definitely going to be hard on us because like we're already used with the online learning, but yeah, like the government said that we will probably go back to school next year, so it'll be an adjustment for us again. Like it's gonna be
Mm,
hard to like wake up in the morning again, like 7:30 at school, and yeah, just to catch up with all the lessons that we need to as we are in JC2.
I
Yeah,
see.
I think it will be challenging.
Mm. I would agree with both of you as well because we have been actually adapting to this new normal. Yeah, we've actually maybe felt comfortable staying at home and doing everything here because we are able to do like many things besides studying at home. But then maybe for next semester that you guys would need to go back to school again and going back to classes and maybe participating in other activities at school. What do you think will help you to sort of adjust with that situation when the time comes?
I think that like we should definitely prepare it like from a long time before we go to school. Like probably we should get used by getting up early in the morning. Like that's probably the first step we could do. Like even though it's a small adjustment, but it could bring a huge benefit for us later. And like
Mm,
yeah, I think like one of the things that we could do is that. But like for the rest, I actually don't know.
okay, that's okay. So,
Mm,
what about you, Jane?
well, I think the ideal solution would be to revise regularly about the or study ahead of the JC2 material. I think that will help a lot in for next semester. But ideally and realistically,
Mm-hmm.
it's a challenge, as I said.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you tell us more about what the challenge would be to
Um,
revise materials
I
again?
think it would be about willpower, about delayed gratification, and their
Mm.
friends.
Okay. The very good friend between procrastination and delay of gratification and self-regulation, I would say. I think to that point. I see. Okay, and well, summarizing from what we've been talking and understanding that there will be challenges along the way, right? Especially since there's this whole bunch of changes and a whole lot of uncertainties as well. I'd like to ask you guys that about the majors that you want to pick for university. Have you guys decided so far?
Well, for me, like I definitely want to go to like more to this statistic data analysis is probably going to surround that studies, but like I'm not really sure like which exact major that I want to take.
Mm, okay. What have been sort of like the barriers of finding out the majors for you, Jesse?
I think that yeah, uh, definitely like, because like I don't really know well about each major because like I definitely think that I need to research more and really know exactly what I want.
Mm, okay, I see. And what about you, Jane?
Well, I definitely am going to the field of health. Well, I used to. It's not I used to. At first I thought of medicine, but then I was introduced to public health and their friends, and it's really interesting too.
Okay, so that sounds awesome. I think the field of public health and the field of statistics, they are really big at the moment, especially during the COVID-19, where there's a huge need for us to understand the data, right? And there's also a need to have like a holistic approach of understanding the disease, not just from an individual or even cellular level, but also from a society in a more macro contextual level as well. So I think that those fields can be really good for you. But aside from talking forward, I'd like to talk and try to get you guys a little bit backwards. So we would like to talk about, so what drives you to go into these majors? What makes you feel interested to study more about the major?
Well, for me, like definitely because like in school, like in for the best subject that I do well is probably mathematics. So like that's probably like where I start my interests in that area. But then yeah, I started to find out more, and I actually kind of like how numbers actually could sort of predict or give analysis in that sort of way. I like that.
Okay, so coming from seeing your passion in something at school that drives your interest, yeah, of studying statistics.
Yeah, even though like I know that probably everyone hate math and probably don't understand why I would love to take this kind of major.
Okay, no worries. Actually, I think that math can be really fun and like exciting. If we are able to sort of see about the applications towards them, and I'm really glad that it's something that you are passionate about, Jessie. Because I think that there's that huge importance of having passion in the things that we do. What about you, Jane? Do you agree that finding curious from school, I guess, like from school subjects, drive you into studying something further and further?
Well, for me, it isn't always like that, but I'm always interested in the well-being of other people.
Okay,
Yeah.
well-being of other people. Okay. Do you have like a little backstory towards understanding the well-being and wanting to help people?
Well, not exactly. It's not like it's like an inspiring story, but no, not really.
Okay, I see. No worries as well. Well, I hope for the best for everyone's future endeavors as well. And hopefully, with everything that's going on, we would still be able to navigate this tremendously uncertain waters, right? Because we may never know about the changes that might occur in the next couple of months. So I wanted to ask you guys about the things that you can do during the holidays, and not just the holidays actually, but just in the weeks to come that can help you to maintain your health, right, and maintain that positive attitude towards the future. Do you guys have any tips for us?
Well, don't watch or read the news too often. I did that, and unconsciously it made me really, really feel like I felt negative. Yeah, I felt deprived, tired. I don't know how, but it just felt that way.
I see.
And exercise, eat well, sleep well. I think that's the basic.
Okay, that's very true. So taking care of your health is important, and starting from the things that we see and the things that we consume, such as the news that you mentioned, Jane. And it is important to still eat well, sleep well, and just maintaining a good hygiene practice. What about you, Jessie? What are your tips so students and well, outside of students, but people can still have a good holiday and maintain their health?
Like I would say definitely don't take too much time with your gadgets. Like this is actually the time for you to be able to spend more time with your family and have more fun like without the gadgets, I would say. Because like during school, like we probably look at our gadgets from morning to the afternoon. Like I think that this will be a good time for us to take a break from it.
So taking a break from social media, from the gadget, that's a very good thing. But Jesse, I was wondering, what would happen if we connect with people more through social media? Maybe is there still a way for us to be able to not get so dependent on it, but still can stay in touch with our friends and family?
Yeah, like I would say like probably have like good time management and knowing like what your priorities are. Like that's really important. Like yeah, we do still need social media at times, but like yeah, just be careful not to overuse it, I would say.
To navigate as well. And Jane, speaking about the news, that when we tend to consume like way too much of it, is there a way that you think we can filter like the news that we consume daily so that we don't get too much negatively affected by it?
Well, headlines are there for a reason if you see it's like negative or something. Or you can limit yourself. Each day you can only look at the news for like 5 minutes. That's it. You're not going to look at any more. I think that can work too as well for social media.
Okay, so knowing about the things that you are going to consume gitu ya, and so try to find more positive things as well that
Yeah.
maybe can be consumed. Do you have like a channel that you would recommend us to watch maybe during the pandemic for both Jessie and Jane, or things positive, what do you call it, like applications or websites that can actually help us during the holiday?
I wouldn't say there are any websites, but I recommend reading books. Pick up something new. There's no harm in getting more knowledge.
Very true. So reading books, yeah, that's a very good advice. What about you, Jessie?
I'm actually not sure.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
maybe like during this time where we need encouragement, like it's actually nice to like see like quotes like just to encourage you to go through the day, like even during at home, like in like probably like Instagram, like I would see a lot of them.
Okay. So engage in something that people like and can still be accessible as well. Right. This question may not be really that important, but because you mentioned about watching Korean dramas and things on Netflix, do you have anything to suggest us maybe?
Oh yes, I would love to hear.
Oh,
We need something more to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, I keep switching back to the same movie and again and again.
there's a lot. I can't choose. Like
What?
probably like the most recent
Mm.
popular Korean drama that probably I think almost everyone watches, the World of Marriage. But like
Oh,
yeah,
Oh, well.
it's probably the most popular these days.
What is that story about? I mean, it is the world of.
So like yeah, it talks about a couple where they have issue because like the husband is actually cheating with someone else, and all other problems also unfold throughout this drama.
Oh,
Basically, that's what I
that's
could say about it.
that does sound fun though to be watched. Very entertaining. Was it from the sound of it as well? So the
yeah,
world.
I watched it.
Do
It
you like?
was well, for me it was very tiring because they're always backstabbing each other, so you become wary yourself, I think.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds to be a very toxic relationship. Yeah, if everyone's backstabbing each other, in that
Yeah,
sense.
but like, I would say like you could get a lot of moral as well from the
A lot of
story.
moral lessons. Okay, very true.
But I'm
Yeah, it was
really
quite dark.
unsatisfied with the ending.
Mm, mm. Okay, I think for the ending part we might not talk about because we're afraid of giving spoilers.
Oh,
But
of course.
no, but everyone as well, you guys are able to watch more series, right, and dramas during this holiday as well. So you definitely check more into that as well. I think for my own personal suggestion, as I am an avid Netflix watcher, Money Heist is really good as well. But yes, there are some really brutal graphic scenes, so probably avoid that part as well. For really cool contents on YouTube, I would say Crash Course by Hank Green. I think the guy was Hank Green. Is really good. If you want to get some learning, do some Khan Academy would be really good too.
I'd like to recommend Mark Rober.
Oh, who's that?
Oh yeah,
He's
that's
a physicist.
Oh, Mark Rober, is it?
Yeah.
Robert. Okay, so Mark Rober from Jane and Jessie. So, do you guys know his channel? His channel, or just click the name?
Yeah, it's just a name. His channel
I
is a
think the
name.
name of the channel as well.
Oh, it's the name's channel. So everyone can also check Mark Robert in
He
YouTube.
used to work in NASA,
Oh,
so it's really interesting.
sounds really cool, right? Yeah, it sounds like he'll be able to deliver really cool science contents as well. So definitely check them out, everyone. So after talking to both Jessie and Jane here, so it seems like it is possible to have something of a fun and yet productive holiday. So I would just like to recap about what we've been talking. So it's important to maintain your health by being careful of the stuffs that you consume online. So limit yourself to the news, especially if they're negative. I guess if they talk about the negative affairs in the states of the world as well. So find an activity that you like, finding a hobby, reading a book maybe, or watching K-drama can also be helpful. Don't forget to spend time with your loved ones as well. This is really a good time when you don't have to study and do a whole bunch of stuff. So you can actually get to spend more quality time with the people you love. Don't forget to engage more with your environment and limit the social media or your gadget interactions, I would say. Don't forget to do some exercise, eat healthy, eat well, and fill yourself with some quality content like they mentioned about Mark Robert. You guys can also access YouTube for more educational contents as well to keep yourself updated during the holidays. Does anyone else have any feedback maybe or any tips for our viewers?
Most of all, take care of yourself, I guess.
Mm.
And that's the self-care is important, not self-indulgence.
Very true. Self-care, not self-indulgence. That's a very good advice. Jane, what about you, Jessie?
I would say definitely stay home. Even though like malls are already open and restaurants, but yeah, please stay home. Yeah, that's what I could say to all the viewers and listeners here.
Okay, very good advice as well from Jessie. So don't forget to still stay at home. Please still maintain your hygiene. Please always wash your hand and wear a face mask, yeah, to prevent any transmission. And if you don't really need to go outside, please don't. And as much as maybe it's frustrating or it's depressing to stay at home, it is still better to stay healthy instead of being infected by COVID-19. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for listening to our podcast here. So I think just to close off a little bit and to give more information about wanting to be in the podcast, Jane, can you inform us a little bit on how to join the podcast?
Of course. Well, this podcast is free for everyone to join. You can participate and be a host or a guest by emailing us at podcast@pissecondary.penabures.sch.id or DM us on Instagram at BanDais.bis. We are open to any ideas you would want us to talk about, and see you soon.
Okay. See you guys soon as well. So don't forget to stay tuned to our podcast because we will still be recording our podcast episodes during the holiday. And what other better ways to spend time than also listening to our podcast as well? I'd also like to give an information. So in a month from now on, we will be hosting our first virtual career day to welcome the new secondary one students for the next academic year. So stay tuned for more information about that. And don't forget, as what Jane mentioned, if you want to participate in our podcast, either as a host or a guest or other roles, please email us at podcast@pissecondary.penabur.sch.id. So I think that's all for this episode. I hope you guys have a fun and yet productive holiday and enjoy your weeks off from school. And we'll see you again in the next semester to come. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.